Hello, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Good Morning Education Show. My name is Rotimi Ikayo. Such a pleasure to be here on the Good Morning Education Show. Apologies for last week. We had some breakdown in connection, in connectivity, and so many things as well. Um, we also had several people who were not available. I particularly was not available most times within the time frame that we had worked with due to some projects that were ongoing. So we tried as much as possible. In fact, one of the days last week, um, it was more like a 20 to 25 minutes show. The other was like a 15 to 20 minutes show, but we tried as much as possible to be um, available online for you as promised. But we will try to make sure that going forward, those type of realities are forestalled. We'd like to thank you once again. Remember, it's always a great morning on the Good Morning Education Show. We are streaming from Lagos, Nigeria, to West Africa, to Africa, and the entire world. And this is the Good Morning Education Show. It's going to be a great morning. Today is going to be a great morning, all day, all week, and for every one of us. And we're going to spend time today to just talk about, the realities of the fact that it's a new month, it's the 11th month of the year, and we're winding down to to, to the end of the year. And I for one believe that we should create our excitement if we don't even feel the excitement in the air. And today we'll be starting like as we do on the show with news and headlines that we just need to look at. And these are headline news within and around the world of education. And I honestly believe that it's going to be a great time on the show as well. We're going to be starting with the first one. And the first headline is saying one out of two female teachers in Kwara sustained bullet wounds. This is quite frightening, and also a thing of concern because, excuse me, because Kwara is actually known to be it's a peaceful state, right? And it's so much to say with regards to security and, of course, attacks on the education community. It says gunmen suspected to kidnappers on Thursday afternoon fired gunshot at two teachers at Oshi or Osi in the Kiti local government area of Kwara State with the aim of kidnapping them, but the teachers escaped. Saturday Vanguard gathered that the incident happened after school hours when teachers were returning home. The two women who teach at Ikeri Secondary School, Nosi Ekiti, were suddenly accosted by gunmen, but they took to their heels and the kidnappers well, we hope and we believe. I believe that's what I hope. But the security agencies need to really help in this situation to ensure that we don't have all these issues, as it were, popping up, popping up, popping up, popping up. But then let's just try to move on to another headline. And this headline has to do with, so let me just say, second. So the next headline is talking about protests, right? Protests at Lokoja. Now, Lokoja is also not far from Kwara, so it seems like we're dealing with conversations that's talking about areas of this nature. Okay, so have protest as three Lokoja varsity students died within 72 hours. This is quite alarming. Any kind of death should catch our attention and trigger concern and response. And, this is coming on the fact that we're still talking about security, talking about safety, we're talking about lives. And here it is again. We're having protest um, as a result of the death. The student community is such one that the solidarity is quite high. And then we're going to another headline, and the headline talks about ASU set to sponsor Bring Back Your Children bill. Um, Bring Back Your Children bill. Pretty much, this is another one within the education community. ASU is saying they want to sponsor Bring Back Your Children bill. I'm sure a lot of us are interested about this bill. What exactly does it represent? What is the scope? The Academic Staff Union of University on Thursday vowed to sponsor the Bring Back Your Children bill at the National Assembly following the federal government neglect of the education sector. The ASU National President Emmanuel Osodeke, who disclosed that this on One Day Nation Summit organized by Bauchi Zone of the Union, lamented that Nigerian leaders have killed education and they look for other countries to send their children. And so this is why they're trying to speak about bringing their children back. Well, this is how do you put it now? This is just what's showing as the fallout, of a lot of things, and hopefully just see how that works out. We'll see how that works out. So let's look at the next headline. Still on ASU, we have insecurity because of abandoned. We have security issues because of abandoned, abandoned responsibility. But then let's just move on. So much sad news in the air. Then we have another one that says Kano governor mourns as 5 students die in road crash. I said it earlier that it seems like having too many deaths, too many. And then we have another headline that says UBEC develops roadmap for effective implementation of ECCDE. Another headline. I don't plan to waste too much time on the headline. Let's look at another one. Delay in teacher recruitment in Osun State caused by paucity of funds. This is, of course, that education costs. And when we talk about teachers, you know that recruitment of teachers is quite important because a lot of states have teacher shortage, and the supply of teachers is going to be something that will also lead to funds as well. And then TASFED student protest colleagues arrest by soldiers. Well, this is all you can get as we speak about month, the conversation on the month. So today we will be having an interesting conversation I think that sometimes we need to remind ourselves from time to time, what we should do, what we should be doing, how we should be doing such things. Um, that's what I think we need to remind ourselves of, you know, and it's not going to be an excuse, but we know that we're in a new month. That's permit me to say, with all the gloomy stories and all the looming stories, we want to say Happy New Month to you. Welcome to the month of November. It is the 11th month, and our prayer, my prayer to you, is that you have a great month ahead of you, a month of peace, a month of health, a month of goodwill, a month of grace, a month of power, a month of possibilities, a month of progress, a month of pursuit, a month of income, a month of revenue, a month of profit, a month of help, a month of peace, a month of power, a month of understanding, clarity, a month of growth. Now, as we wish ourselves that, I think that it's not out of place for you and I to reflect on the topic, enjoy the month, enjoy the month, enjoy the new month, and people sometimes feel guilty when they tend to see themselves as planning to enjoy things. I think that that's the first place we need to start from. Enjoyment must not be perceived as a crime. It is not a crime. It is not a crime, you know, to enjoy anything. Most in particularly your life and the things that are around you. Life will be so full of sadness, so full of emptiness if we fail to enjoy ourselves, if we fail to enjoy things, if we fail to enjoy resources, to enjoy people, you know, this is what you see that will happen, And I believe that we don't want that to be our reality, and we don't want that to be our circumstances. We want to be able to enjoy the month. We want to be able to enjoy resources. We want to be able to enjoy life. And of course, a lot of abuse to the word enjoy also exists because most people have considered when you say enjoy, they've considered it in the extremes. They've considered enjoyment as lasciviousness, enjoyment as, wastefulness. Some people have considered enjoyment in different ways. But I want us to recognize that to enjoy has a separate meaning, has a different meaning as opposed to what people see it as. Good morning, Rhoda. Welcome to the month of November 2021.
Yeah. Yes, good morning. Good morning. Welcome and great to see you. Are you still on the mission or are you back?
I'm back.
Okay. You
I'm
know how
back.
they say we say in this clime, we say happy new month. We're always celebrating life. So it's good to be here in November. The second to the last month of
Yeah, thank you.
2021. Interesting. What a
Absolutely,
year.
absolutely. Yeah, what a year. We thank God for everything that's doing. Thank God for everything He's doing for everyone. And we're appreciating Him.
Yes.
And appreciating God for friends, family, for jobs. Yes, so we have an interesting conversation today. And the conversation is enjoy the new month, enjoy the month. And I was trying to start with an introduction of painting the perspective for people to know that it's not a crime to enjoy things. Sometimes
Mm,
people have sometimes
it's
people
not.
have that guilt. You sometimes feel like should you really make time out to just treat yourself, treat yourself to to things, good things as well. I think that it's not a crime, and people must not sabotage themselves, um, thinking that to enjoy things is a crime. What's your thoughts, Rhoda?
Honestly, I, in a world full of problems and problems that humans try to solve, and the reason essence of, or I guess the reason why we try to solve problems is because we really want to enjoy life. We want to find meaning, and in meaningfulness, you find worthwhileness
Mm,
because it becomes worthwhile, for you to engage in a meaningful activity. I'm sure I'm being theoretic here, but in essence, it's finding meaning that is worth your time. And for those things to come together, usually it's because your natural, your default neurons want to be excited about something, want to enjoy it, want to feel a form of fulfillment that you're doing something good. Everybody likes that. I don't know if there's apart from where there are psychosocial psychosocial issues. I think everybody really wants to just enjoy, and so it's a natural phenomenon. And so yes, you should enjoy it. I think even I was still talking with my kids the other day, and I can't recall the exact statement one of them made. And I said to her, everything you say is what you project. So if you say, I'm going to have this is difficult, it will be difficult. You've really just said it. So it will be. So if you flip it and say, you know what, this looks difficult, but I'm going to find it easy, it immediately activates ease and opens your mind and your brain to have to find solutions to solve that problem. In essence, you then find enjoy it because anything you struggle with, you don't enjoy. So yeah, I think people shouldn't feel guilty about enjoying anything. I think it, it's a form of gratitude, I guess. Just feeling grateful that you're alive and that everything else pales because you're alive. I think that's enough.
so much. That's powerful, and I like to also paint that perspective to also make people recognize that enjoyment also does not signify or connote waste. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, people think that also when it's time for enjoyment, we just begin to. I feel it shouldn't hurt. It shouldn't lead to waste. It shouldn't lead to pain. It shouldn't lead to, yeah. And
I was talking with a friend just not yesterday, and
yeah.
a friend was telling me how in Nigeria, uh, a big wedding is you where you have thousands of people in it, and how when they went to she and her couple of her friends were in Ghana a couple of years ago, and one of their tour guides was like a big wedding is 150 people. And I was like, oh my goodness, context differences and stuff like that, but it ultimately, like, it doesn't have to connote waste. Sometimes people do things just because it makes them happy, and I think that's as long as that's what it does, as long as that's what it does, then that's fine. You can't really buy, you can't really purchase happiness, believe me. Yeah.
Yeah, and the word, funny enough, the word enjoy, you can break it into two parts. You have joy on one side, and you have
Mm,
the en on one side. And on as en,
mm,
it's actually a short form of engage. You
mm,
understand? And so when you say engage and you have joy, so to enjoy something, it means to engage joy on that thing.
mm,
So
mm.
if you want to enjoy life, it means you are engaging life with joy. You
Joy.
are linking joy to life. You want to
Mm,
engage math. It means
mm,
you are engaging math with joy. Just like you said, your perspective to something about something also creates a reality for that thing.
Yep.
So if you don't take time, you begin to see in that same light, and then you begin to feel like, this is probably a bit difficult, So, and I like to use that exercise where I tell people to just take a moment to reflect and close their eyes and
Mm.
imagine that they're in a destination they've always wanted to be, maybe
Mm-hmm.
on an island, and then you feel like there's this cool, gentle breeze, blowing. There's a lovely landscape around you, you know, and then there's a tropical fruit stuff around you, the trays of meals that you love. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody just begins to think, and sometimes some people begin to smile, sometimes some
Mm.
people begin to lick their lips, sometimes some people say, yummy.
Mm.
Now, what I'm trying to say is it's not real, it's just in the mind. But
Sure.
because they engage that thought with joy, guess what happens? It begins to create pleasant thoughts, pleasant memories. It begins to create energy sometimes. It's the same thing when you listen to your favorite song. And if it's the kind that you can dance to, you just find out that just listening to the song brings joy. It means you're engaging that song with joy. And a lot of us sometimes we look for joy, we seek joy, we want to enjoy things, but what is missing is that we don't engage the things we do with joy. So sometimes we look for friends. We say, okay, maybe if you get a friend or if you have friends, you should be joyful. You should enjoy life. But most people don't engage their friendships with joy. You know, in fact, some people have it like almost an unwritten rule within their friends that they must connect frequently. And when they connect frequently, they want to share, they want to bond. The reason is because they want to engage themselves with joy. That's the way to enjoy friendship. Um, I want to ask you, Rhoda, why do you think a lot of people miss that connect, engaging the things they do with joy? Hello, Rhoda, are you there?
Mm. Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can now.
Okay. I'm not sure that I know the answer, but I think I could try. Because I think sometimes when I'm maybe using just using myself as an example. Sometimes when I have disconnected, I think if I use the examples when I've been disconnected with engaging with joy, I would trace it easily to moments when, I was noisy. I was in the middle of, I saw everything that was difficult first. And that's what my immediate world construct was, that I had too many problems that I needed to solve, and that things weren't just going well. So I was crowded in my head. That's what I meant by noisy, with all that was presenting to me. For instance, if I, for example, thought that my child wasn't doing well in a particular area, that bothered me much. If I thought that somebody was a blocker to a project that I was working on, and another person was stalling, that bothered me much because I had a deadline to meet. And then if I thought, oh, that I had an argument with my husband that didn't quite go well, that bothered me much. And if I thought that, oh, somehow maybe I was driving the other day and someone hit me, and I had to spend money for something that didn't really wasn't my fault, that bothered me much. So all of those things just, imagine that everything is happening to you in a period of time, and then maybe, just maybe, there's some sickness somewhere that you've tried to solve. You've tried to, doctors aren't telling you the right things. And I'm not using this as because I didn't have any person, I don't have any, I'm very healthy, but I'm just now looking at other scenarios, bringing them together. Imagine having to go through all of that. And these are daily life problems. Ain't no big deal, as the Americans would say. They are there. That's what happens, you know. And then maybe for a student, you're really struggling with the concept. How am I going to do well in this? So those things become your reality. You're like they're your existence. And you forget that you woke up in the morning, you could eat and you could work, and you didn't have a form of a challenge, a disability that you didn't have, for different people. and even where you had a disability, that you could wake up in the morning, you could eat, you had a good job, or you had a good parent family, you had love somewhere. Some of those things that are what I call intangible, invaluable to life. So that's why when people are presented, I think with a lot of problems, it's so simple to make the disconnect, because you're just not counting your blessings and naming them one by one. You're just not doing it. And every time the blessings are right before you. So your child, for example, if your child was struggling with a concept, there was something your child was good at, and that's what we say in inclusion. There was something your child was good at, that child is good at. In fact, usually it's not something. There are many things that child is good at, but you're only seeing the one that the child is struggling with because you want perfection, and there is no such thing. I've learned. I saw something recently. It says, to inspire others, you don't show them your superpowers. You show them theirs. You know.
I like that. Say it again. Say it again. Say it. That's deep.
To
That's
inspire
deep.
others, you don't show them your superpowers. You show them theirs, and there
Mm.
lies that connect.
To inspire others, you don't show them your superpower. And I think we tend to find ourselves under pressure. I don't know this trend. We just feel like we have to show up and show something. And this
Yeah.
statement just changes everything, that it's not really about us all the time, you know.
Mm.
Um, Making a difference, you could actually take some time out and a break to show other people, that they can actually be something. Do you get?
Mhm, mhm,
You
mhm.
know, quite instructive, quite instructive.
Yeah.
Wow.
So again, it's one of those things that one has to be really intentional about. I'm now
Yeah.
learning every day to really and truly count my blessings. This is not even about the hymns that we sing in church for those who are Christians. It's really to just see what are those good things around you, and just, how they say, you amplify your strengths and outsource your weaknesses whilst working on them. That's it. Amplify the good around you. Outsource those things you're struggling with while you're working with it. And outsourcing for some people might be praying about it, talking to a mentor, brainstorming with somebody. It could be a couple of all those things in one. Yeah. But yeah, I'm learning now to amplify my strengths and the good things around me, to outsource my weaknesses by way of collaboration, seeking guidance, and looking for ways to learn from it.
Uh, um, Welcome, Olushola Olumide. Welcome to the show. Thank you for
Yay!
joining.
Mr. Olushola, good morning. Welcome.
Good, good morning, Rhoda. Good morning, Rochimoin. Great submission you've given us this morning. And good morning to our tribe members out there. Nice to be here once again.
Yeah. So we're talking about enjoying the new month, enjoying the month. You know, Rhoda kind of, gave us a powerful quote that she got from somewhere, and she said that, to inspire others, you don't have to show your strength. To inspire others, you have to show them. Don't show them your superpower. You show them their own strength. That's quite powerful. So I'd like to hear from you. How would you um, prescribe that people should enjoy the month, especially this
Uh,
month of November?
Thank you very much. I think for me, we need to realize that life do happens. And whether we like it or not, the unbudgeted, the unforeseen do happen. And fine, it is good to grieve, it's good to mourn, it's good to even cry. However, those things have to be appropriate. My take generally is this: if something had happened, something bad, untoward happened, if you spend all your life, money, or stock to that thing, that doesn't take away the fact that the thing had happened. So we put ourselves together at times. We look for our coping mechanism, and at times we have to talk to people who can be of help. And we shouldn't forget that even the people we go to have issues. It's only our perception about them is that they are strong. Yes, they may be strong. It doesn't mean they don't have downtime. So enjoy where you are on your way to where you are going in life. For me, I think one of the things, I wouldn't know whether it is right or it is wrong. I expect the worst, or I prepare for the worst, and I expect the best. And maybe because I've had it rough while growing up in life, I somehow sit in a position I don't think something worse than what I've experienced can happen. In a way, it solidifies me so much that things hardly take me unawares. So I tell people, why you see me do what I do, and at times you come, it doesn't mean there are no challenges. I say I've been in worse situation. I remember lately I was talking to somebody. I said, see, I am a perpetual optimist, and I think I'm always in a grateful mood. I've been in a situation whereby I cannot afford a meal per day. Now, if I can afford 3 meals, I think it's a big plus to my life, despite the fact that there are other things that have not been met. So I think I've moved forward, I've shifted, I have progressed. And each time I think about the progress, it gives me joy that appears to neutralize every negative thing. So I will tell people, November has come. It may not be different from every other month. Take it or leave it, just like the sun will shine, the rain will fall, the unexpected will happen. Not necessarily because of your fault. I've said it before, life is unfair. That is what we generally say. But do you know life is fair for being unfair to all? Life does not discriminate. It eats A, it can eat B, it can eat the white, it can eat the black, it can eat the big man, it can eat the low man, it can eat the MD, it can eat the cleaner. Without even looking at your face, life just continues to happen. But when things go wrong, don't go wrong with that thing. Recover yourself, mourn, cry, then find a way to go forward. I believe challenges are the way of inundating our brain, and it can shut down the brain that you take the next decision, the decision will be wrong, and you keep multiplying wrongs. That is why collect yourself together. What has happened has happened. What is the best way forward? I think if you think like that part time, reach out to those who can be a great support system to us. It will relieve us of the burden. It will recover us. And I tell people, you don't have to be an inpatient. You don't have to be a psychiatric patient. That does not necessarily solve the problem. Thank you.
I think that was I think that was powerful. Life is fair because it's unfair to all. I honestly, that was so powerful.
Rotimi, we can't hear you.
Not to
Oh,
me, you're
sorry.
muted. Yeah,
Can you imagine? I said it's a morning of quotes, and
I know.
whether you were the one that opened the floodgates, you just give us
Is the
that
topic. The
I'm
topic.
I'm still basking in that moment, like deep stuff.
But this is so powerful from Olushola because truly, this is, the truth is that the world, because it was for all, is inclusive. It was human beings that created the divisiveness and the unequitable nature that we have now. Because really, life is fair because it's unfair to all. And it's unfair to all because nobody has everything. I know this particular statement could be, critiqued and all because why someone can say, oh, then why? So why if it's unfair to all, is it really unfair to those who have everything? The question is, do people have everything? Okay, yet to find that.
Oh my goodness. And we have Prophet Dr. Jude.
Hey,
Good
where?
morning. Good
Happy
morning.
New Year to
Jude,
Judo.
Jude,
Good morning,
I
team.
knew you were going to pop in. Don't tell me why. Don't ask me why.
Ro is in the spirit.
Jude, long
Wow.
time. Great to have you.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much.
This,
Thank you.
this
Good
feels like
morning, everybody.
of some sort.
We didn't hear that,
Is it-
Rotimi.
I say it feels like a metaverse of some sort.
Oh my goodness.
That's serious.
The metaverse.
You know,
We're going to be
Man,
exploring. I'm
man,
looking at the way we're going to be exploring it very soon.
we
On the
trust
Good
you.
Morning Show. On the Good Morning Show, yeah.
We trust you. We're waiting.
I had to do a bit of study on that man, this time around, your brain has to be on an elevation angle. Your brain just has to. These guys are just
That is
they're not creating things, they're creating
non-negotiable.
world. I move from things to worlds.
Yeah, do you know the thing that inspires me about that is not the. I mean, I know there is always like organizational strategy for doing things, and I don't want to be a joy killer, but the truth is that so organizations do various things, to cover their tracks, to build their brand, to expand their scope, and all of that. And there could be a set of multiple reasons for why that was done, but the ultimate reason is that there is a product that's going to come out of it. And if you're being strategic and there is no product coming out of it, you're on your own. You're the one that doesn't really understand what strategy means. So in this case, whether it's a strategy or not, the point is products have burst out of this sort of like restructuring of the organization. And it's for all to learn. If large organizations like massive, the biggest companies in the world, continue to improve their brand, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to continue to rethink and think. What was my brand? What am I doing with it?
Yes.
One headline
Most
wrote me
times,
yeah,
we tend to want to fly on that wing of futuristic plans, right? You'll say, okay, if it's going to be disrupting business or strategy, definitely you want to also be part of the disruptors at that point.
Exactly. What's me one headline that tickled me today that I really want us to just sort of like tackle is the headline around the UBEC retreat. There was a program that they discussed ECCDE, and that headline is very important to me in particular because ECCD, even though as prescribed in the National Policy on Education as a foundation to learning, has really not received the kind of attention it should when it comes to policies from the federal government. I will use one quick example, which is teacher recruitment as part of the civil service program. Still, lots of states do not recruit teachers for ECCD, and that's where the problem is. That is for states that even have ECCD groups within the state structure system of education. Still, they haven't prioritized the employment of quality staff for ECCD. And if you all followed what was launched last week called the Human Capital Africa Initiatives, launched by Dr. Obi Ezekwesili in partnership with quite a number of folks who are in the education space strongly, and making a case for foundational literacy and numeracy skills as the basis for building human capital in Nigeria and Africa, then you would understand why there's that connect to why we need to have a solid ECCD program in the country, and how its research has shown us that a strong ECCD program leads to will make for more students getting into the graduate program, and that's because it started with that foundation. So I'm happy that UBEC has brought it to the forefront as a matter of conversation. I'm hopeful that they take it even further into places like civil service commissions, where there's now active recruitment for teachers for ECC. There's Foundation for Learning. So I know that there are things to pick out from that headline, because it's not always as detailed as it should be. But yeah, I wanted to just leave a comment around that. So we're still enjoying the month.
And that's true, quite powerful. And I would like to use this opportunity to also welcome Danny. Danny has been doing a lot of jumping in her house. I've been seeing some pictures.
Hey, Darren.
Good morning. How are you guys doing today?
Good morning.
Morning.
He's acting out gentle. Danny is not gentle. It's just format, online format.
Maybe is the new month strategy.
Yes,
that
like
Oh,
they say, when it comes to people who are very, very composed. So we are trying to be composed so that money can find us.
So we're talking about enjoying the month, and I like to hear your thoughts. How do you plan to even enjoy this month? I'm coming to Jude as well. Jude has been showing some enjoyment posts lately.
Really, I think for me is I try to enjoy this month is to get my body to the healthiest I can. I think that's part of how you can actually enjoy when your body is where you want it to be, health-wise. And I think maybe I even actually started my own since last week, where I use the better part of it to rest and all that. So I think I want to enjoy my body and be able to wake up in the morning and just be grateful for like feeling very healthy and be alive. And I also actually, if I had to I wish I could take like a complete vacation that where I don't even have internet really. I'm really, really wishing just 5 days, just do nothing, wake up, sleep, and be taken care of. That's how I wish it's a wish, and I know wishes do come true. So yeah, let's hope it can happen.
I like that. I like that. I just got back from a mission, so to speak, and while I was at the airport, someone was calling me and said, "How was your mini vacation slash work?" I said that was not a vacation at all. That was not a vacation at all, you know. And it's interesting because for someone like myself, I think that staying out of the office sometimes is almost like it frightens me. Not necessarily frightens me, but I just don't see myself not being in the office. And I don't know, but sometimes you just find yourself saying, take a pause and
Yeah,
do something different.
do something.
Just do something different. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to hear from Judah.
Okay, what was your question for me? Hello, what's the question?
As well.
Okay.
Dr. Jude, how do you plan to enjoy the month? What's your philosophy
Okay, this
about
month, okay, let's start with the metaverse, right? So there'll be like different activities that is forming that metaverse. Okay, but for me generally, I I I work based on how I'm inspired, right? I work based on how I'm inspired, or I follow how the leading of my inspirations times, and that is how I actually draw strength. Because sometimes doing the same thing, like you said, doing the same thing always without changing can very can become a problem on its own in the sense that it drains you and all that. But when I get some certain inspiration, and I always look out for inspirations that actually lead me to several other dimensions of what I'm doing, because that's where I draw strength, that's where I draw interest, and that's where I draw further inspiration. Because something you also find that you might even be in a holiday and you become drained. Not if you might become drained resting. I think I've experienced that you become drained resting or over resting. I don't know if it's over resting or just for the resting sake, because sometimes it might not just be because you don't take rest, but it might be that you are not following certain inspiration within you, or certain energy within the flow of energy within you to certain direction. Like the Bible will say, the spirit is like a wind. Nobody know where it's going or where it's coming from. So I think most times I feel in humanity we might also follow that kind of trend where we follow our inspiration to rest, or we'll follow our inspiration to be more inspired, or to be refreshed. Because sometimes you might just still be in rest, you might be in rest and you are still tired. Most times teachers also fall into that category, that after a whole month of holiday you find teachers coming to school sick, and they have been like a month of holiday in August, and they'll come in September sick, or they'll come after midterm break very tired. So what have you been doing like in a whole month or a whole week? So it shows that the rest is not really the problem. Is what area of your inspiration are you following during that rest to actually gain more strength? So that's my take on the month.
And I know that a lot of people have found support structures in friendships and in friends. And I probably want to ask Rhoda that question. How can we build, that aspect of enjoyment anchored on friendships? What would you prescribe, Rhoda?
Did you say anchored on friendships?
Yes, yes.
Let me speak from what has worked for me. Um, so I have a very small circle of friends, even though I'm to be honest, an extrovert. So I connect with people easily. In fact, I like to say that I'm a people lover. And not because it's just because I like to say it. I think, yeah, I'm genuinely interested in people, genuinely interested in what's happening to them. Always very happy for when people have grown, happy to see people succeed, happy to see even help, handhold, and happy to, receive the same as well. So for me, with friendships, what has worked is, first of all, I was very, to be honest, very intentional about my tight circle of friends. I know that there are people, some people are incapable of dropping of one thing with friendships. Some people are incapable of analyzing their friendships. I don't know why. I've seen it happen to one or two people that I know. And I guess that's why I'm saying this. But I don't think that people should be necessarily friends with everybody. You want to be able to review that circle you have. If someone is really just not helping your mindset, then that friendship, you should begin to look at it and say, that's definitely not what I need. But when you have good friendships, what I've done with my friends is that we make it intentional to hang out. We are intentional about it, and to drop everything. And mine, because of where I am in my life, and most of my friends are within my age group, and we have some commonalities. But what we try to do is everything is not about anybody else, but about us. Where we are, we're talking about ourselves, and we're reviewing the things that we can do with each other and how we can support each other. So friendships, on anchored on friendships, the enjoyment for me is like we make it intentional to hang out. We meet each other, and sometimes it may not always be physical. It may just be on a group chat, and we just do a quick group chat, and we just talk to each other, send voice notes and things like that. We really just celebrate each other. And so I guess that's just one example. But then again, you have to prune your friendships. You have to prune them because sometimes friendships have been known to be to mar instead of make, and that's not what friendship should be. If once you describe that person as a friend, that person should contribute to your growth, whether it's contributing as a matter of giving you, being honest with you. You know how you can be honest with somebody but in an inspirational way. That's what a friend should be. Not the friend will talk you down and just basically highlight all the things they think they are not doing well. But it's the same, another friend and a genuine friend would tell you what you're not doing well, but tell you how best you can grow with it and how they'll support you with it. So yeah, for me, I've pruned my friendships, one, but and second, most importantly, we're intentional about meeting each other. And that's how and those meets are for celebrating our successes and talking about how we can grow together.
Fantastic. And I'm tempted to say this. I hope this is not just a girly thing. I don't know if
you want to bring out the beast in Jude, eh?
It's a girly thing. It's a girly thing.
You brought out the beast in Jude, eh? Okay. I want to hear it. But what do you mean, though? What do you mean? What do you mean by I hope this is not a girly thing? What do you mean?
My answer.
You have to have. You have said the word, and the word has become flesh. Yeah. See.
Okay, brother, delete.
Oh my goodness.
I think I honestly think that it's something that all people, everyone should subscribe to. Because sometimes, yes, people do hang out. I don't know how much of value is in the regular hangout that we see out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this concern. I actually spoke with a friend, and we're having this kind of conversation, like you said. And there's this concern that who is ready to, and we're not even talking about celebrating our successes now. We're planning in terms of growth. And sometimes when the growth agenda comes up, some people don't feel too comfortable that they don't look like they're going to be in the front seat, even though it's still beneficial to all concerned. How do we get to that point where we just look at the overall good, as opposed to everybody trying to build their empire? And I think I'd like to hear Shola's comment on that.
Thank you, Rotimi. Rhoda said a lot on the need to be intentional about our friendship. I think for those our kids, toddlers, children, they may not know what is at stake. At least it's part of their developmental milestone. But as adults, I call it a sort of checklist who you admit into your life. And research has found out it is called a random act of kindness. It has a way of aiding your own psyche. That if you do good to people, while it remains with them for the next 2-3 days, the positive effect rubs on you for the next 2 weeks. Yes, that has been confirmed psychologically. If you look at the Science of Happiness by this Professor Lumbowski from University of Pennsylvania, is an apostle of happiness. When they talk about mindfulness, they talk about exercise. One thing they keep mentioning is the random act of kindness. It builds resilience. It helps you to recover. It gives you this sense of joy. It triggers your dopamine, oxytocin. Your brain comes alive. And I have found that to be true. When you're in a place where you are helping people, you just want the best for them. You somehow forget that you are paying. In addition to that, the people come back and pay back, whether now or later. Yes, they say the good that men do, also the evil that men do will follow them. If you do good to people, you are doing it for yourself. You are doing it not necessarily because you are looking for something in return, but you just want to see somebody smile. I deal with young people a lot, and when I come across you, stumble into you, and you are like, "What is this man looking for?" Especially if the teenager is a lady or a girl, I will put it clear out. See, I'm not looking for anything. I just want to become part of your success story. Whatever support I can give you, morally, physically, spiritually, financially, I'm ready to invest as long as I have the capacity. I just want you, I want to see you succeed. When you succeed, you can imagine the happiness that I'm even part of this process. And sincerely speaking, I tell people, talking is my hobby. I can do this from morning to evening. I don't get bored. When I begin to attend to people, do you know, at times late till 12 midnight, 1 a.m., I don't even remember I have any challenge. At times I may not have eaten. It gives me unusual joy. So I don't need a seer to tell me that is my life task. Incidentally, it brings back payback period. Apart from the momentary psychological upliftment, it gives me the resilience. Do you know why attending to those young folks, it opened up my world? There are questions, if they never asked me the question, I would never have thought those problems existed. But by asking, I'm able to profit. I go back to, in fact, I thought of this thing yesterday. My new book comes out this month, talking about the activating the power of your mind for holistic, for wholesome development. It was a result of helping people that brought about that manuscript. And that will be about my third, fourth book. That it was because I was helping people to be better in the course of talking, in the course of writing, to help them. Then I like, you've written over 15,000 words over time. My dear, this is a book before you. Then I try to package it together. It turns to a book. While I started doing that thing, do you know, I never thought of writing book. This 2021, I didn't plan to write a book, but I've attended to seminars so much this year that I sat back, I said, wow. And those people have got values. But somebody called me 2 days ago and just, sir, I need your account. I've not heard from the boy maybe this year, or if I've heard from him just once or twice. What he thought about me, where he is presently, I don't know. He just said he needed my account. I sent it to him only for him to send me money. I can't even remember why he's sending me money. But I want to believe he felt you are part of my success story. Where I am today, you aided me to be there. I think I need to remember you wherever you are. So do good to your friends, do good to your neighbor, do good to your colleagues. Get concerned with what concerns people. It may be the people you help today will be the bridge that will help you cross over to your promised land. Thank you very much.
I think Shola actually helped us to tap the principles of enjoying the month and do good. You know, I'm going to send my account number to Derry so she can do good. Hey, remember to do good though. You know, so let's just take our partitions. We've had so much to say, but time is not our friend. I'm going to start with Jude. I'm going to go to Derry, back to Rhoda, and then end with Shola. So Jude, parting shot.
I want everybody to enjoy this month. It's like almost the end of the year, so don't fret. Just look out to positive vibes. Look out to positive receiving from above. The prophet has spoken.
Yay.
Okay, so let's have Derry.
Wow, I think I feel like how it feels like the year is almost ended, and cut yourself some slack, give yourself a mental break. That is really important, a mental break, because at the end of the day, I think as we grow older, by default, our circle gets smaller, because we are all busy in our daily lives, and it should. I've already started like talking to a group of people that I actually didn't even consider them my friends maybe like a month or two ago. But in the course of us planning the global conference together, like we spent so much time together working that I've been able to discover that are the people that have common values like I do. And over the weekend, I was like, you guys, we should hang out sometime at the end of the month. But like, totally. So that is being intentional about your adulthood, as in redefining people that have your values for as in now, and pruning and developing new friendships. That at the end of the day, we are all social human beings. So no matter how you say I'm introverted or this thing, we were created to be social. So um, let's look past that. Oh, because I think for most people, it's always like, how about if I call Omotola right now? I'm sure she's busy. Do you understand? And she too, she's thinking, oh, I'm sure if I call Demi right now, I'm sure she's busy before she will think I'm encroaching in her space. Like, and we all have the same thoughts. And it's more like we are going back to children where we are looking for validation on who. I don't want to seem like I'm looking for where to go. But the truth is, we should actually look for where to go to hang out, because if it is about work, I need nobody to tell me that I work like I work. So there's no point in us not saying that, and just go past that barrier that this is just, come on, let's move. It's not that deep. And also, I think that's it notes to myself and maybe to even other people that are in my shoes. Yeah, that's my final shot.
And back to Olusola or Rhoda first. Sorry.
Okay. I really, really enjoyed listening to Olushola talk about random acts of kindness. And the reason why I did was because it's like he gave us a couple of action steps to take. And that RAK, random acts of kindness, is a really physical thing that one can do. You walk on the road, see someone, frowning their face, and say, hey, cheer up. Everything is okay. Do you need someone to talk to? There's really like examples of things to do. You see someone down the road, you just like in your one of your colleagues, things that you've noticed around them that's not working very well. Like really just random acts of kindness, as the word goes. So I really enjoyed that. Thanks, Olushola. I want to say that even though we human beings have this calendar that we have, which is January to December, stay calendarless so that you can you don't define your timelines by the world standards, but define it by yours, because your every day counts. Every day is an opportunity. Every day is a new day. And that's why some people don't say Happy New Year, because the day is always fresh and new. And you can sign any deals and any contracts at any point in time. Depends on the value you bring to the table. So stay calendarless. That's what I would say. Of course, working with timelines is good, but don't feel the pressure of being I have not achieved what X and Y and Z in this year. No, don't do that. That can be really stressful. But again, like in the world of random acts of kindness, please, to inspire others. There's evidence from Olushola that it does well. It gives you two extra weeks of just one random act of kindness. So to inspire others, so don't show them your superpowers. Show them theirs, and that's also a random act of kindness in its own way. They say it's more joyful to give than to receive. So give.
This is share all together. Enjoy the love. As we end, we have something to say to everyone out there. And so we're going to count 2 and then we'll give our prize. 1, 2, go.
It's always a great morning on the Good Morning Education Show. Bye. Bye.